Hi guys, it is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, and I'm here to do my May WIP update. Um, May was not as good as I hoped, but it was better than some previous months. I don't know. Um, I did some stitching. I almost kind of finished my goals. I'll get there. I'm gonna finish them. I'm almost there, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish them out. But so I'll show you what I stitched. I had two starts. I had a finish. I brought a project out of timeout. And that accounts for everything I stitched on, really. So I have some stash. I had a visit with Stitch and Button Vic, which was wonderful. And we got some categories and some plans. So here we go. Um, so we'll start with my only WIP, which is the project that I brought out of timeout. It lives in this bag from now, who hopefully will be up here one of these days. So this is a problem child, and I took it to work because work is a good place for problem children. And I put some stitches on it. When I counted my stitches at the end of the month, because I don't take my tablet to work, so when I'm at work, I use my phone for Pattern Keeper. And then when I got to the end of the month and I transferred my phone to my tablet, it wasn't as many stitches as I was hoping, but it was more than I had before. I did make some progress on it. And it was kind of slow going at the beginning of the month because my phone has almost no markings on the chart, and it's a good thing that I had imported my progress off my Pattern Keeper and uploaded it to a Dropbox so I could see it on my phone, because when I tried to stitch on this, I was completely lost. Where was I? What symbol was this? What stitches have I done? What stitches have I not done? So having the imported progress was help. But there were a couple of days where there was one day I did 15 stitches because I just spent so much time trying to figure out where I was. Um, so as I keep going and as I get more stuff marked, it'll be easier to keep my place. But so this is my problem child, one of my problem children. This is Story Keep Littlest Fairy, charted by Hade, artwork by Selena Fennick, and I did 143 stitches on it. And I worked over here. I brought this black part down here, and I did some of this stuff up here. So there she is. She needs about, I thought she needed about 3,000 stitches. She actually, after I did a bunch of frogging 2 years ago or something, she needs about 3,500 stitches. So she needs a little more than I thought, but she's still like 71% done. So we're gonna keep chipping at her. Hopefully we'll get a little more progress in June. The other thing that happened in May is I had taken some days off. I took at least one work day off, one office day uh, off while Vic was here. And I think there was another day or two where I just didn't stitch. There was a day I got 15 stitches. Uh, so hopefully June we'll see a little bit more progress. But the fact remains I still only go in the office twice a week for the most part. So it's going to be slow no matter how you slice it. So there's my littlest fairy. Okay. My first start was on April 30th. I did my last video on April 29th, and I was talking about this, and I wanted to start it, but I told myself I needed to finish my categories. I didn't finish my categories, but I went ahead and started it because I wanted it for my friend's birthday, and her birthday is at the end of July, and So I went ahead and started it, and I did not do as much on it as I would have liked. But it is Happy Birthday by Blackbird Design. And it lives in this WIP bag with Teresa Kogut fabric. Yeah, the chart's not there, so. I'm stitching this. So 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2022, I had stitched Bird Hand by Blackbird, and I was looking for a piece of fabric for this, and I had selected a Fortnite fabric, but it's a really small piece, and I kind of didn't really want to cut up my Fortnite fabric. So I happened to be looking through my finishes, and I came across that Bird Hand, which is at the top. It's like this long, narrow piece of fabric, and Bird Hand is at the top. And I'm like, hey, I think if I cut this bottom part off, there'll be enough space for Happy Birthday. So that's what I did. And so it's whatever random piece of fabric I did Bird Hand on. But there's my start on Happy Birthday. It's 283 stitches on the house. And I would have liked to do more than this, but I didn't. So this is going to be my focus for a finish this month, because her birthday's at the end of July. I want to get it done. I want to get it to the framer. So I need to hurry. So the piece that I finished, this was sort of my focus these last couple of weeks, or even this past week. I'm like, I'm going to finish this, but then this one is going to be my next focus, that I'm going to knock this one out and finish it so I can get it framed and get it to my friend. So the next thing I started, and I talked about this last month, Holly and I were on Sammy's Live, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but somehow we started talking about Abylonia, and Holly and I were like, Holly said something about Abylonia, and Sammy says, hey, get with Laurel, because she was talking about starting that. And so Holly and I got together and were like, hey, you want to start it? So we started, this is Abylonia's Apple Tree by the Artsy Housewife. And that woman has some fantastic stuff. She just put out some new releases in the last week or so. And yeah, I might become a fan of hers. Her name is Gigi, the lady who designs for Artsy Housewife. Her name is Gigi. There was some new releases put out, and Sammy showed it to us, and we were like, yes, please. So this is my little meager start, and it's on a Fortnite fabric. I don't know what it's called. It might be Milton. I don't know what it's called, but it's on a Fortnite fabric. And this is my little meager start. I think it might be 50 stitches. It might not even be 50 stitches. But that's all I've done on it right there, where my thumb is. This is one of the things I need to do to finish my May categories, is I need to bring this up to at least 100 stitches. So this is going in my new to you category, I think. No, this is in Sal. I put this in Sal because I'm stitching it with Holly. So the night we started it, I did this little tiny bit, and at the end of that night, Holly's like, I have 400 stitches, and I think she's probably worked on it since. And I have not, but But this is one of the things that I'm going to have to do to finish my main categories is put some stitches in this. So there's Abalone. And the other thing that I need to do to finish my categories is I need to put some stitches in Nine is the Trick and the Treat. I need 300 stitches to finish categories. So some of them are going to go in Abalone. Some of them are going to go in Nine is the Trick and the Treat. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to divide that up, but they're both going to get some stitches so I can finish my main categories. So far, the only month that I finished so far this year is March. So this has not been a fantastic stitching year. Anyway, so this past week I focused on this. I'm like, I'm gonna finish this because I'm counting it towards categories. I can use the stitches towards categories, and pretty much everything I've stitched this month has been towards categories, and I still haven't finished. That tells you how much stitching I've done. So, I was like, I'm gonna finish this. I can count it towards categories. I can knock it off my WIP list. I gotta finish. So, I've been focusing on this past week. I finished the cross stitch on. I think I finished the cross stitch on Wednesday, and then I did the back stitch on Friday, and I think I started the back stitch like at 10 o'clock on Thursday night, and then I finished the back stitch on Friday, and I spent all day yesterday beading. I think I started at noon or 11 or noon, and I stopped to eat a couple of times, but I spent all day yesterday beading. And I stopped to scroll my phone because, But so this is my finish. This is Come Stitch by Mill Hill. And I counted the beads before I got on here. It's 256 beads. So there's my finish. So in our group chat yesterday, Vicki was showing all the new Mill Hills for winter and Christmas. And and they're really cute. Some of them, there's more Santas, and there's just some really cute ornaments and some really cute button and bead ones. And I'm like, so if I finish the one that I'm on, that means I get to buy 5 more, right? And Vic at Stitch and Button was like, I think that's how that works. Sounds legit to me. So there's my finished Mellow. And that's all the stitching I did. It's 1,200 stitches, which is not great. I mean, it's, but I'm going to do 300 more stitches. My goal for categories was 1,500. So I'm going to do 300 more divided by Avalonia and Linus the Trick, and I'll have finished my categories. And then we'll be on to June categories. Let's talk about June categories. And we'll try to make June a little better than May. June categories. I thought I had written these down. Did I not write down? I have the categories written down, but apparently I didn't write down what I was going to use. Anyway, so the first category is holiday, and I'm going to use. Oh, I think I'm going to use Happy Birthday, actually. Because it's specifically about a birthday. It's not like, oh, it's something that I started on my birthday. It's specifically about a birthday that counts for holiday. And then the full coverage. I haven't really figured this out, apparently. Oh, full coverage, I'm going to use the fairy. Duh. A sampler, I'll use Linus the Trick and the Treat. It's a Quaker sampler. New to you. Maybe I'll use Abalonia. Because Artsy Housewife is new to me. I think Artsy Housewife is just new, period. But, and Specialty Floss. Oh, Specialty Floss, maybe I'll use Poppy. The Mirabilia groups are having a pixie sale for June. So I'm not going to start a new Pixie, but I said I would bring Poppy, my WIP of Poppy. So I think I will use her. And so we will try once again to finish categories. I really need to find my stitchy bug because it's really bad. So I'm behind. Minus the trick and the treat is the one that I divided up into 12 sections. And so far I've only finished 2 of them. So here's, does this work? Yeah. So here's my division of minus the trick and the treat. And so far all I finished is, I finished January, which was this cat right here. And I finished April, which was these little motifs in here. This is February, which I have not done. This is March, which I have not done. This is May, which I have not done. And then this big motif here with the gravestone is June. And clearly I have not done that either. So I need to put some good time in that and get a little bit more caught up. My phone is fighting with me. So those are the plans. I don't know if I'm going to do any new starts. So far this year I've done 5 starts and I've had 2 finishes. I don't know if I'm going to start anything in June. I would like to finish Happy Birthday. I'd like to make some progress on Travel Memories. I'd like to finish Travel Memories, but I'm not going to finish that this month. I'm not going to worry about finishing that this month. My friend who I'm stitching that for came back from Africa last week. So he's home for right now. He's going back out again in July. He'll be gone the entire month of July too. But hopefully I'll get to see him before that. But, so, I gotta sneeze. So, yeah, so there's my stitching, there's plans. Haul. Oh, before haul, let's talk about Vic. So Vic came to visit, and she talked about this in her video, and I'm probably going to repeat a lot of the things that she said in her video. If you watched her video, it's called There and Back Again or something from like May 16th or 17th. So Vic came and stayed for a few days. It was wonderful. I'm really glad she came. She was helping me with some stuff, and so we did that, and we went and had dinner with some other stitchers, with Erica and Kevin from Akio WIP, and Shelly from, I think it's Only Stitching is her new channel name, and Alma from Alma's Little Wonders, and another local stitcher named Sandy, who I've known Sandy for 20 years. And so we went and had dinner, and that was fun. Some of them ended up coming back over here because Vic had stuff for Erica and Kevin, and she had stuff for Shelly, and she forgot to take it with her to the restaurant, and somehow it became Alma's fault, and you know, because we asked Alma to come over early so that we could carpool, because the restaurant is down by the beach, and parking is really tight down there, and So we decided the fewer cars that we have to take down there, the better. So we asked Alma to come and carpool with us. We went and picked up Sandy, and somehow it became Alma's fault that Vic forgot her stuff for Kevin and Shelly. And but it was fun. We went to the LA County Fair. Vic and I went to the LA County Fair, which thankfully has moved to May because it used to be in September. And Pomona, the fair is held out at the Pomona Fairgrounds, which is like on the eastern end of Los Angeles County. And it is 100 degrees out there in September. And so the day we went, I think it might have been in the 80s. Like it was warm. It was 4 o'clock by the time we got there. It was warm, but it wasn't like 100 degrees. And it was 4 o'clock, so it had, it wasn't very long before it was starting to cool off. We stopped in so I think she told this story on her video. So Friday night when she got here, she got here Friday afternoon. We went to the grocery store, we went out to lunch. I do not have a coffee maker. And if you know Vic, do not let that woman in your house if you don't have coffee. So we went to Walmart to get a coffee maker because Vic. And when we were leaving, she's like, hey, let's go to Starbucks. And so she pulled up the app and she said, pick the Starbucks. And I picked the Starbucks and we got over there and she was very disappointed that Starbucks does not have a drive-through. And she's like, who picks a Starbucks without a drive-through? This is proof that you don't drive. So, sorry, but it was the one that was between the Walmart and my house. That's why I picked it. It was on the way home. And the one that has the drive-through is like a mile past my house. So, um, she went in and got the drinks. In the meantime, I had been teasing Holly, and then she was ranting to Holly, and so they were both kind of ganging up on me because Holly wanted to slap me because I was teasing her, and Vic wanted to slap me because Starbucks didn't have a drive-thru. So, so and then what else did we do? We went to IKEA and walked around. I got some. I got I got one thing there. I was looking for another thing, and I know Vic was getting frustrated with me because I'm really picky about furniture. I really am, and I know I am, and I know she was getting frustrated. And so I got one thing. I didn't get the other thing, and I don't know that I will. I don't know, but I might just keep what I have. I don't know, but we went to Skechers. We got shoes. So I'm really glad she came. We went. I don't remember if she told this story or not, but one of the things we did is we went through my project bags, and I buy project bags from Vic, and then I'm over here destashing project bags in front of Vic, and I didn't want to like destash her project bags in front of her, and she's like, I don't care if you want to destash them, destash them. You already bought them. I'm not refunding you. So she was laughing at me for that, but um. But I did put some other project bags in the stash, and she took a few things with her, and Alma took a few things with her, and so I had some stuff that I had destashed on some other friends that I finally got to the post office to mail out, and some of them were like, "Oh, I forgot about this." So it was a good time. I'm really glad she came. In writing, they say there's a saying that the difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. And that's sort of how I felt about Vic's visit. Like, there were a lot of people who could have helped me that are local, but Vic was the person that I needed. Like, they could have helped me and it would have been fine, but it wouldn't have been the same. Vic was the person that I needed. So I really appreciate her coming because, yeah, I needed her. And none of the local people could have done what she did. So, Not that they're not great, but they're not her. So uh, that was my visit with Vic. And um, stash. Vic also brought me stash and some stuff that I had bought, and instead of shipping it, I told her she could just bring it with her. So the first day, this is random, but the first day that I took the ferry to, or not the ferry, back in October when I started the Mill Hill, I started Come Stitch back in October, and I had taken it to work, and the first day, I actually started it at work, and so I was taking apart the kit, and I realized I didn't have a floss card, and so I grabbed a piece of computer paper and a hole punch, and I made a makeshift floss card. The holes are much too small, but it's an office. They have an office hole punch. So there's my makeshift floss card. All right. So the stuff that Vic brought me. I got bags, of course, because I always get bags from Vic. So I got the safari one. It has that on the inside. What is this? This is leaves. I'm gonna sneeze. I got this sunflower one. It's got this pattern on the inside. And I got this mason jar one, which I feel like, you know, that chart, the kit mason jar lineup by dimensions, and this bandana fabric. I have that kit, and if I were to start it, this would be like the perfect bag for it. That was one of the things that I kept in my D stash. That's one of the things that I decided to hold on to. I did not get rid of that. So the other stuff that I got from Vic is I got Frosty's Night Out from Blackbird. Vic was destashing some stuff, so I got that. And I got this. I like the bottom one. So Megan, May, and I decided that stitching May, I would stitch the bottom and then I'd send it to her and she'd stitch the top. And so I feel like I got maybe one more chart from Vic, but I don't know what it is. And usually when I make my videos, I go back in my PayPal to see what I bought. I try to make sure to buy stitching stuff with PayPal so that I have a record of it. And I'll go back and see what did I buy since my last video. But this was a D-stash. I didn't buy it, so I don't have any record of what it was. So here's some stuff that I bought. I got this on Stash and Load. So a couple of months ago, I had gotten the cat one. And so somebody was selling the dog one, and I was like, yes, please. So this is Hello Goodbye from Summerhouse Stitchworks with the dog. And it's adorable. It's a needle book. I got this. This is a little bit of an unusual sampler, but for whatever reason, I liked it. I don't know. But this is Louisa Funston, age 12, by Old Willow Stitchery. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I was like, that's kind of interesting. I think it's a color palette that's kind of interesting. But, so I got that. And I got, this is my first chart by this designer. This is for Let's Stay Sway. This is Anna Millett. And it's the alphabet. And then it has her initials in it. It's just got a bunch of different versions of her initials. So there's that. It's really small. It's 189 by 138. And they stitched it with a Verissois. I don't know that I'll do that, but maybe I will. They stitched it on they stitched on 30 count. This is in French. And you'll be shocked to know that I don't speak French or read French. But I think it's, I don't know. And then I also got, this is one I see on the sampler groups a lot. A lot of people are stitching it. And actually our sampler years group is kind of having a sal of it. Some people are doing a sal of it. So, and I've kind of been looking at it. So it came up on Stash and Load, and I was like, yeah, okay. So this is Harriet Hay by Mill and the Floss Samplers. So I got that. And this is also stitched in a Verissois, but I will probably stitch it on in DMC. I will probably not buy a Verissois for this. And then the last thing that I got, and I think I talk about this every month at this point. So Homespun Needlework does the exclusives where the admin over there, Julie, works with a shop and works with a designer to put together a project and a kit that the designer designs and the shop sells, and it drives money into the shop. That's the whole point of doing it, is to help drive money into the shop. So this one was done by Acorns and Threads, and the designer is Wilstyra Snaps, and this is Sophia Neal, 1832. And so I got that. It's all Weeks Dye Works. I got that. They're putting out a new exclusive in about 2 weeks. It's by Scarlet House, by Tanya at Scarlet House. So we'll see what that is. I think my birthday's coming up in July, and I'm thinking that maybe I will start one of those exclusives for my birthday. I'm thinking maybe there was one a few years ago by Summer House Stitchworks called Emily's Bliss, and I think I might start that one. It has a quote by Emily Dickinson, "Every leaf speaks bliss to me." And she's since released it. You can buy it now. She's since released it, but I think maybe I'll start that for my birthday. I think that's all I have. We're going to try to do some more stitching in June. In July, I'm going to take off. July is my birthday. I always take off 2 weeks at my birthday. And so hopefully that'll be good stitching time. We'll see. But I think that's all I have. I will see you guys next month. Happy stitching.